Let's focus on the final objective of this chapter: format and modify text by using functions. You can download this file at sdrv.ms/L G S C L E. So we're practicing text functions here. And what I see here is some first name, last names. These are famous comedians. And we have some phone numbers and their favorite food. So we're going to file by their last name. Imagine we have a bunch of file folders or some folders by ABCDs. And we're going to find the first letter of this last name here. So I'm going to click in this box and I'm going to type in equals, and I'm going to use the function called left, L-E-F-T, left bracket. And I have a hint here, the text is going to be here. So I'm left clicking on A2, comma, the number of characters I want, the number of chars is going to be 1. I only want the first character. So I'm going to close that bracket and press enter. And you can see that we're filing by the letter C. Let me just center this column, you can see it better. So the nice thing is that we can use autofill. If I just move my mouse to the bottom right corner and drag it down, and you can see that Excel automatically, in a smart way, finds the first character of this last name, which happens to be the file folder. We're going to just name this by the first letter of the last name. Let's try the same thing with phone numbers. So the location is going to be the area code, so we want to know where our customers are coming from. So I'm going to type in equals, and we want, again, the left bracket. The text happens to be this phone number, comma, the number of characters we want is going to be 3. I'm going to close that bracket and press enter. And you can see that we have the area code. I'm just going to center this as well. And we can use autofill to complete this. And you can see we have it very quickly. Now, what if the phone number was like this? So let me just change it to the traditional bracket area code. And let's see how we could fix this. So assuming that there is no space between the bracket and the number 5 here, I'm going to use the function called mid. So here I'm going to type in equals mid. It's going to return the characters from the middle of a string. Bracket, the text happens to be this phone number here. So I'm just going to click it down here and then push the up arrow so I'm selecting the right cell, or D2. Let me just press escape and try this one more time here. So equals mid bracket, this is my text, comma, the start number happens to be 2 because I don't want the first bracket, I just want the number 2, comma, the number of characters I want is going to be 3. So let's close the bracket and press enter, and we get 212. So once again, we use the function called mid, which takes this text found in D2, this phone number. I'm going to start at position 2. The first character is position 1, the second character is position 2. So we're starting here, and we're going to take 1, 2, 3 characters. That's what the mid does. So as you can see, I just changed all these area codes to be this bracket style, and I'm going to take this mid function, and I'm going to use autofill to just find the rest of these cool area codes. And now let's write a nice sentence here. So what I have here in notes is let's make this a bit bigger by just dragging between G and H here. And I'm going to write a nice sentence here. I'm going to say, so we're going to practice adding text together. The word adding is considered concatenation, so we're going to use the function called concatenate. So we have to type in equals because we're using a function. Concatenate, join several text strings, and I'm going to join George, comma, and I'm going to put that within double quotes with a space here, loves, double quote, comma, and then I'm going to click on here, which is his favorite food, which is ice cream. So there's my end bracket. So we're going to concatenate these three strings. And by the way, we could have placed more commas if we want to combine or concatenate even more strings. I'm going to press enter. And you can see that we have George loves ice cream, and because I put that space there, the space is there. But here there's no space. So let's make sure that we put a space also here in the formula bar after the S as well. So notice how we have this nice text using the concatenate function. And similarly, we don't even need to use the concatenate function. By the way, if you use autofill, you can see that Excel very smartly figures out the rest as well. So another way besides using the concatenate function is to simply say equals the first name, George, and percent symbol does the same thing. And percent, if I type in loves and percent, click on here, ice cream, of course there's no spaces, so what we get is George loves ice cream. And so I'm just going to go back up here, put some spaces within the double quotes, and when you press enter, we have a very nice result. George loves ice cream, and we can even drag this formula and make it autofill. So these text functions are very useful for manipulating results just the way you want it to be. We don't have to use concatenate. We can even use the and percent symbol. The right function is the opposite of left. Instead of taking the first X left characters, it takes the first X right characters. We used mid already, and let's try upper. Let's see what upper does. If I say equals upper bracket and I click on this text here, press enter, you can see that we get the text all in caps locks. And if we say equals lower bracket, this text here, you can see that everything becomes lowercase. And finally, let's take a look at the trim function here. What it does here, equals trim, it removes all spaces from a text string except for single spaces between words. So if I say equals trim this phrase here, nothing happens because we already have single spaces between words. However, if I type in some text here with lots of spaces, if I say equals trim bracket and this phrase here and I press enter, you can see that it cleans up all those extra junky spaces. And sometimes you get text with unnecessary spaces, and trim can clean it up very nicely. So you now have the power to clean up text. You have the power to slice and dice text from the left, the middle, the right. You can make text in capitals as well as in lower cases, and also piece together all this text. Great job on completing this chapter. You're evolving to become an Excel ninja.